TikTok. Well, good morning, everybody. My name is Jared. This is Justice's Waiting Room, a daily live podcast where we discuss news and politics. I am your host. My name, again, Jared Malat. If you want to connect outside of the show, because people do, you can find me on Blue Sky. One of the things that you'll come to find out is that I do most of my yapping here. Um, Morning, Stacy. Morning, Debs. I find myself in a little state of shock where I find myself agreeing with Marjorie Taylor Greene, except just like every Republican ever, they could be right and somehow wrong um, at the same time. So we'll start the show as we do every day, listening to War by Edwin Starr. Because I have a feeling this is war either way. But Marjorie Taylor Greene, when you find yourself agreeing with Marjorie Taylor Greene that Israel is committing a genocide in Gaza, free Palestine, this administration, uh, Donald Trump himself, is very good friends with Benjamin Netanyahu. But now I just feel like with Marjorie Taylor Greene speaking out against Israel, that hmm, hmm, hmm. It's weird when the people that you disagree with change their mind so quick. And you're like, wait a minute, what happened? I wonder if Israel is wavering its support of this administration. Good, Jeremiah. How are you? Morning, Ange, Zeke, Gab, Kara, Crush, Stacy. Look at us. Uh, it's just wild. It. I feel like I'm in the fucking Twilight Zone watching Marjorie Taylor Greene say something that makes sense about Israel committing a genocide in Gaza. Again, free Palestine. I just, it's on the top of suppressed news. I shared the link in the comments. If you're ever watching the show on TikTok and you're like, I don't quite understand what's going on here, so this is a live podcast. We're also live on YouTube. I'm not really watching myself. I'm looking at the other screen over there for information for news stories. And I share the link to the news story in the comments of the YouTube. I try to do it on TikTok, but TikTok doesn't let me share links in the comments. And I think that's fucking stupid. So, and I think second to saying Marjorie Taylor Greene speaking out against Israel. It's wild. Yeah, some Stacy said it's almost weird, like she saw a ghost. Exactly. Like it's almost like the weight of your decisions. Remember how I told you about this shit when I was on active duty in the Marine Corps Infantry? I've never called myself no fucking war hero, but I know some. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. Ask them. If you feel like you know someone well enough, ask them. Hey, I know this guy that has a podcast. Oh yeah? Yeah, he was in the Marine Corps Infantry during a time of war. Oh, that's badass. Yeah. He always says that he ain't no war hero, but he knows some. And heavy is the head that wears the crown. What do you think about that? And I guarantee you they break down in a fucking puddle. Full stop. I bet you have to go get mental health help because it's the first time anybody has said something even remotely empathetic about their situation. Full stop. Crucial opposition. I'm not even hating. Just don't get yourself banned from the platform. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you just gotta let people post comments that are wildly inappropriate and probably gonna get us kicked off the platform. But do you, boo boo? One of the things I would want to think about if you're like in the comments and you like this stuff is engage in a format that doesn't get us wiped off the platform. Get it? So when I'm talking about people who feel like they were doing the right thing, struggling with having done the right thing, how do you think it feels to do the wrong thing all the fucking time? Probably just as fucking bad, if not worse, right? So eventually you're gonna have a come to God moment, a come to Jesus moment, a come to Allah moment, like what the fuck ever, right? Eventually you're gonna have to stare, you're gonna have to watch yourself react to what is going on in the world. Eventually, right? It'll wear on you. If you don't, you'll people will notice you're not in pictures because you're clearly avoiding being in pictures because you don't want to see people to see the the weight of the world weighing on you, right? Mm. There you go. Reading questions by doctors and sat here cried for the beautiful souls. Kids' questions I've been asking. Yeah. Were I fit to be a parent, you better believe it. And just live in my house. I got dogs. They're a handful. Yeah. I don't know. Hey, you know what, Gabby? I see you. I saw the same kind of shit where his head was like this, like, oh fuck, I could not be in this picture. Would be fantastic for my image. If I could just slide to the very edge of the frame and kind of melt off the fucking page, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, I saw that shit too. Remember, for some of these motherfuckers, they gotta sleep in the bed they made, right? And it's as I pointed out. There's a reason that I'm like, we have to start a new political party, and the founder has to be a living human being that you can throw all your hatred at, and take pressure off of the party itself, right? And just let people focus on dumb old me. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, I feel like when we're taught, we open up by saying like, "What the fuck, Marjorie Taylor Greene speaking out against the genocide that Israel's committing in Palestine." Holy shit. Um, Donald Trump's got some swollen ankles. We'll talk about the Epstein files next, but I think what happened yesterday and understand that we live in a controlled media environment where the absolute truth is probably being hidden from our faces. You're probably gonna not get the full fucking story. It's one of the things that I've realized. Uh, Not that this is a fruitless endeavor, but that do we know the full truth about all of this? And my first example that I would use about us not having the full information is that I think Donald Trump. Yes, thank you, birthday buddy. Right on fucking time. I think that we don't have enough information about what's going on with Donald Trump's physical health. There, I said it. I don't think that. Hmm. How do I say this? Okay, if it were just. If what is going on now. It's hard to explain because I'm not a doctor. Sorry, everybody. I'm trying to think. Because I don't want to. I don't want to say something that's like blatantly untrue. I feel like he's farther along when his ankles are swollen. I feel like he's farther along when he's shitting his pants and he's wearing a fucking catheter. I don't understand. Like, thank you, Gabby. Crush said he's got to be way worse than they're admitting. Somebody's like a nurse, and they're like, Jared, you're making sense. Like the he's been hiding symptoms. Listen, he had the bruise on his palm months ago. Again, I am not a doctor nor a medical professional, and I'm not making any claims about the health of the president, but he had that bruise on his palm a long time ago. Again, I'm not a doctor. I didn't even stay in a Holiday Inn Express last night. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But again, they were denying something was wrong then. Somebody is an NP in the comments on TikTok. Hi, thank you. And they said he's had. You're using acronyms. I was in the Marine Corps. They're not. That's not helpful. CHF, whatever that is. Heart failure. Car, I don't know what CHF is. See, I didn't stay in a Holiday Inn Express last night. He's somewhere. He has something where the blood flow is having a hard time going from the ankle. No, no, no. The blood's not getting through. It's not like it's like the motor's not running the full cycle. You you ever get water in your engine and it'll run, but it runs like you're driving through water until there's too much water and then it. No. Okay. He's hiding wounds on his ankles. So okay, that is actually farther. Congestive heart failure. Thank you. I didn't. When somebody listen, I was in the Marine Corps, and so there are some things, some acronyms that like pass, but medical terms. Oh, your boy. First aid, Boy Scouts. Come on. Coronary heart failure or congestive heart failure. I don't know what the difference is. Um, prop- appropriately so it pulls in the legs. Um, so in addition to blood pooling in his ankles, somebody else that I'm assuming has some medical training can confirm that he's also hiding the wounds on his ankles. Because isn't that a step farther into the congestive heart failure part of the part? again, I don't know what I'm talking about. You got to help me. But I think like the next stage 5 is the part where you're hiding wounds, right? Stepfather was a golfer, had a heart attack, had bypass surgery, swollen ankles, heart medicine, open sores on leg from vein infection. That was all before he had the heart attack? The way you said that, he was a golfer, had a heart attack, had bypass surgery, swollen ankles, heart medicine. I'm reading that as though that's the order that shit happened in. He golfed a bunch, then he had a heart attack, then he had bypass surgery, and then swollen ankles, heart medicine, open sores on legs from vein infection, and died. Right? Oh, Jesus Christ, Stacy. She said he fell in the laundry and bumped his head and passed away in 2021. Oh, that's awful. I'm so sorry. This is artery, not not coronary. This is that is arteries that feed the heart. Okay, okay. So that it's congestive heart failure, and he's late. So one of the things that you will never catch me doing because I'm not religious. I'm a firm believer in karma. So one of the things you will not hear me doing is cheerleading shit. Like for the record, and I know it's funny, but yesterday when I saw this shit about him having swollen ankles, I posted a link to the chat in our Discord and I said, "Raise your hands if you've been doing voodoo." Not like we were celebrating. It was like, "Okay, who's been punching on their voodoo doll?" You know what I mean? Like anyway, I hope people understand. I'm not upset at anyone. It's just like the way I think people thought like, "Yeah, what no, no, no." Um, I work out. I do golf all the time. I'm an amazing sport man. My trophy collection is huge. Trump probably. Um, so yeah. So I think it's appropriate to say like I'm glad he has good health care. Crush, I'm so disappointed. You're missing out on like, in my opinion, the best part about the show is the after show, the continued conversation, the tight knit community. That's what it's all about. And he's likely not wearing compression hose like he should be because of vanity. Noted. Compression hose. That makes a lot of sense now. I like when smart people type shit out and my dumb brain is like, "Oh, that answered a whole fuckload of questions from years of my life. Why do only some people wear compression hose?" Vanity. Noted. Noted. Morning. What up, Chris? Hey, Crystal. Yeah, but yeah, somebody get Crystal on Discord. You can just download the app to your phone. I mean, I wouldn't mess with nothing but us because everything else feels a little odd. Everything else feels like a fundraiser, you know? We give each other support when people are like, what the fucking, and like. So I want to speak on, all right, what do we need to talk about? We need to talk about Epstein. I feel like this is a smoking fucking gun. I don't like these people are like friends, but it's like they knew they were what they were doing was fucked up because of vanity. What up, Crystal? What do you mean? Wait, what? Yeah. So Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump had this fucked up conversation, man. The note began, "There must be more to life than having everything. Yes, there is, but I won't tell you what it is. Nor will I, since I also know what it is. We have certain things in common, Jeffrey. Yes, we do, come to think of it. Enigmas never age. Have you noticed that? As a matter of fact, it was clear to me the last time I saw you. A pal is a wonderful thing. Happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. First of all, any hope you had that these two weren't super good friends, that shit's out the window. Okay? Let me explain this to you. First of all, I think those two people were more than just best friends. Again, say that with my full chest. hmm I've been saying it. I've been kicked off platforms multiple times for saying, like, people that lean that way have told me, like, beyond a shadow of a doubt. But yeah, I kind of think that's kind of a smoking gun. Thank you, Crush. hmm And then I also want to point out, after he said that that there was no Epstein list, last night he commanded Pam Bondi to release all relevant grand jury testimony. Yeah, related to the Epstein case. Um, Again, anything coming from this regime, I wouldn't trust. So it's almost like that. Yeah, they're gonna they're gonna doctor it. They're gonna do something to that, manipulate it somehow. Funny that Pam Blondie as AG from 2011 to 2019 did nothing against Epstein, right? Yeah, I think they were Eiffel Towering bitches, is what I think was happening. And they were making out across the Eiffel Tower, if y'all know what I'm talking about. That hope that answers some questions for you of what I think was going on between them. I believe that's called going full French. You're allowed to laugh. Not everything has to be dead ass serious all the time, motherfuckers. CBS is ending The Late Show next year, and here's what I have to say about that. Okay, so I saw Stephen Colbert ask Zoran Mamdani a question about Israel, and it's not that I in my head I was like he needs to be fired, but like one of his writers does. What the fuck question was that? Do Jewish people have a right to exist? Like the fuck? Sturgeon says NBC says Trump has chronic venous insufficiency. Oh no. Again, the first thing that comes to my mind when the media is trying to control the narrative is how long have they been hiding this? Yeah, whether he sues the New York Times for releasing the letter or not will say a lot. Yeah. Hmm. There's about 50 people watching between two platforms. So good morning, everybody. Between TikTok here and YouTube there. Love y'all. Without you, there's no me. What would be the point of recording myself, watching the new? Not it would be watching the news if the news weren't trying to continue constantly like manipulate the fuck out of the narrative, right? Hey Vicky, good morning. So yeah, what I am here to do is to tell you that every day feels like an escalation upon the prior, and their narrative is to demoralize you. Their entire mission is to demoralize good people. Okay, so I hope if you were able, you participated in that protest yesterday. I worked yesterday, I had a terrible day. Should have just taken the day off and gone and protest, and I regret it. See? Avoid this. Avoid regretting not just taking the fucking day off and going and protesting. Because I had a fucking bad day anyway. I probably would have had a way better day if I'd have just taken the day off and gone and protested. You only live one time. The urban philosopher Drake said. But yeah, that's how I feel about Stephen Colbert's show getting canceled. Is that he asked Zoran Mamdani this question when he interviewed him, and I was so blown away that was like either he needs fired or his writer needs fired, because that was an absolutely goddamn terrible question. Moving on. See, there's a reason why I have a healthy amount of skepticism. DC, DC, Trump was attempting to block the publication regarding the Jeffrey Epstein story. So it's like, it's so, when it comes to Donald Trump's health or what's going on, it's like I have a healthy amount of skepticism. You know? Like when they say, oh, he's got chronic venous, blah, 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 blah. You're just like, oh, it's way worse than they're letting on, right? And again, I just want to make sure that I point out that within the last week, I saw, it's just like one of those things that flashes before your eyes and then you'll never see it again on the internet. Donald Trump asked his White House aides if he should just resign. Oh, I'm sorry for stuttering there. If he should just resign over this Epstein shit and he was doing that last week. And I think what else has kind of tipped me off? Colbert has always been diet right. Ding. What tipped me off was Mike Johnson coming out and speaking out and saying that we need transparency and they should release the Epstein files. And then he voted not to release the Epstein files. And I just, it's like, but the president is saying that they don't exist and that it was made up. And so if it doesn't exist and it was made up, then why is Jeffrey Epstein dead? Why is Ghislaine Maxwell, why is she in prison? If if the list is made up or the Democrats fucking created it, why is someone dead and the other one in prison? What is going on? And for the record, one of the things that bothers me about this is Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump were besties. More, the, I, they were besties. I'm just I'm perpetually ashamed of Donald Trump, but this one kind of hurts. That's his best friend. Look how he's treating his best friend. He was president when Jeffrey Epstein went to jail, and remember that. Yeah, it's usually an indication of heart failure. Yeah. So I think that Project 2025 was written by J.D. Vance and Russ Vought, and that it has this administration using the 25th Amendment to replace Donald Trump with J.D. Vance. and then I think it's game on. And then I think this party has a full blown meltdown because JD Vance is woefully unprepared to be the president of the United States. Have you seen how he runs? He's defenseless. He's completely defenseless. He runs uh knuckles down. I never even seen that shit. So I think his medical what I'm saying is his medical condition's way worse than they're letting on. Remember, somebody yesterday was like, "Oh, he's at level 4 and that's when you have swollen ankles." And then someone this morning is like, "Well, he's clearly like hiding bandages on his ankles." And it's like, wouldn't that be the next stage, bare minimum? Right? So like I think uh Donald Trump's trying to duck out. He wants out of the limelight. I mean, why not? He enriched himself. He did what he said he was going to do as far as he's concerned. I think he's going to try to dip out now because that's part of Project 2025 is the use of the 25th Amendment. So keep that in mind. And I think the play should be like, no, let him stay president and watch it just continue to crush the fucking Republican Party. Now I get it. Lots of people are suffering. That fucking sucks. It sucks that part of politics is literally sacrificing people to advance your political agenda, but that's what the Democrats have chosen to do. I want to continue to point that shit out too. The Democrats have chosen to just let people die to get their point across. Understand that's some fucked up shit too. So I just want to make sure I say that shit too. And when it comes to this genocide in fucking Palestine, too many people are being quiet about it. Is that too many people are being quiet about it? Yes, that's what I meant to say. Yeah. And the same thing goes for Russia's illegal invasion of Ukraine, Slava Ukraine. Not enough people are speaking out about it. And saying like, how do you want to be remembered when all this shit's over and we're all in a fucking nursing home? How do you want to be remembered? Do you want people to walk up to you and be like, "Dude, I used to watch your show every day. You kept my head on straight. Kept my head from being in the fucking clouds and thinking it's all fucking over and here we are. Fucking old people. We made it." How do you want to be fucking remembered? Time to speak up. Time to speak up for other people. Within reason, right? Don't put yourself in unnecessary danger. Yeah, he sold us out to other countries, made a ton of dirty money. That's what I'm talking about. He made all kinds of money. Go home. Go home, Don. You're done here. I need like is it called a kiafa? Like one of those scarves. I would wear that shit too. I want to get like a piece of like Ukrainian fashion and Palestinian fashion and like wear it. Maybe I get my like ears pierced and wear like a little Ukrainian flag or and a Palestinian flag, one on each ear. My wife went and got a piercing yesterday. She got her this little guy, this little guy pierced. This little thing. She got a little cute little thing on there. Home equals hell for him. Yeah, I think that the Democrats are obviously not playing the opposition party correctly. I would be stump speeching everything. I would have prepared fucking speeches and my elected officials speaking out at every protest, showing up everywhere. in support of the First Amendment, and just drive home the point that exercising your right to free speech, to speak out against your government, is absolutely required. You have to be able to redress your government. I bet Melania's hoping for the worst. Oh, oh, the way we will party in the motherfucking streets, the way people will celebrate your death, sir. Imagine, will there be a bigger party in our lifetime? Hopefully, when we pass socialism and everybody gets universal health care, education, income, and housing, and we outlaw being a billionaire. He's like a dark cloud hanging over us. My pillow boss Mike Lindell lost a $2.3 million defamation case. Man, they just keep losing. They just keep losing. That whole fucking crew, bro. They were on top for a minute. You know what I'm saying? They had their time to shine. Ron DeSantis in Florida, he's getting some heat for using disaster funds to build alligator Auschwitz. Huh, international news. Felix Baumgartner, who jumped from the stratosphere, died. He was 56 years old in a paragliding accident in Porto Sant Elpidio, a coastal town in the Adriatic in Italy's Marche region. According to the fire department, Baumgartner lost control of his motorized paraglider due to sudden illness and crashed into a hotel pool. He died instantly. Baumgartner became internationally known in autumn 2012 with his jump from over 36 kilometers above Earth. He had previously jumped from the Christ the Redeemer statue in Rio, flown across the English Channel with carbon wings, and repeatedly make headlines with daring stunts. Yeah. Damn, but he almost made it. He like landed at the pool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, life sucks, but if he lands that shit, gallows humor. You'll have to understand part of this is gallows humor, right? Alabama doing Alabama shit, where the Alabama governor is withholding video of an officer fatally shooting a young black body. I know, I know. I'm tore up for his family, but damn, he almost landed that shit. Landed in a hotel pool? Shit. If he hits the deep end, baby, we're cooking with gas. Give me the highlights. You know what I mean? That's Sports Center top 10. What the fuck? His paraglider malfunctioned and he maneuvered that shit and landed in the deep end of the pool. At 56? Come on. And see, this is troubling to me. I thought you were South and Practical Jokers at first. The Trump administration hands over Medicaid recipients' personal data, including addresses, to ICE. So, hey, tell your Latino grandmother or grandfather that they're now going to be targeted by ICE. Here is an AP News article where the Trump administration has handed over Medicaid recipients' personal data, including addresses, to ICE. They're going after grandma and grandpas. Nursing homes. Oh, wow. Super Bowl winning linebacker Brian Brahman died at 38 years old with a very rare form of cancer. Yeah, he still got to the pool. Yeah, what HIPAA? Exactly. Here's CBS News writing an article about the Good Trouble rallies yesterday. So here's some pub. And despite this administration's best effort to make everyone's life fucking miserable, I just want to point out here's Michigan erasing people's medical debt. Way to go, Michigan. Erasing people's medical debt is along the pathway to achieving universal health care. So that's part of universal health care is forgive all medical debt. Mm-hmm. 200,000 Michiganders had their medical debt forgiven. Oh, wow. Reuters is lowering its voting age to 16. I don't know that that's a good idea. Arizona Governor Hobbs just announced medical debt relief too. Hey, that's great. See, socialism's awesome. Donald Trump has said that he will sue anybody that reports on the birthday card to Epstein. He says that letter's fake. Everything is fake. That doesn't immediately benefit Donald Trump. It doesn't exist. How this man is president, I do not understand how this guy is in charge. Holy fuck. Literally, if it isn't something actively benefiting him, it's fake news. What the fuck? Dumb. Just incredibly dumb. Trump was on a effing warpath to kill story about salacious letter to Epstein. That's so crazy. It's such a crazy letter. It's still disappointing to me. It's not as fireworky as I wanted it to be. Is that a word? It's not as fireworky as I wanted. It's kind of like, yeah. All I'm saying is, I think by now it's fair to say Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein Eiffel Towered clearly. They did the high five over somebody. Okay. I just also think they were making out. Not really. We'll take it. Yeah, everything is fake news when it comes to the president. Like, did you do you guys remember the report yesterday where they surveyed the bombing sites and said that two of the three nuclear weapons facilities in Iran that Donald Trump organized this like bombing, two of the three are functional. Only one of them is like no longer functional. What? Yeah, and the thing about it is what's craziest about this is I'm kind of wondering who is the leader of the free world now. It's almost like there's no one in charge. And Dave Thomas said, and Biden is the cause of everything, according to Trump. Yeah, Biden, the Obamas, Clinton. He can literally name the Democrats that have been in power in the last 30 years. Yeah, yeah. I want to point out what I said about Stephen Colbert asked this really weird question to Zohran Mamdani, and in my head, I was like, I bet you he gets fired because it was such a bizarre question. It was just bizarre. So I'm not surprised at all. Ex casino boss claims Trump and Epstein were once caught bringing underage girls to a casino floor. Here's the news story from People. Former executive at Trump's Atlantic City casino told CNN that the duo brought three girls to the gambling floor who were not yet 21. The White House is calling his story fabricated. It was a former employee of Donald Trump named Jack O'Donnell. Oversaw the Atlantic City Trump Plaza Hotel and Casino for 4 years in the 80s. In my mind, Epstein was his best friend throughout the time I was there for 4 years. The pair frequently came to the casino together. Okay? You go to the casino because you're a deeply unhappy person. I'm just kidding. What's crazy about how these motherfuckers are so goddamn unhappy is because when you do something wrong, yeah. So when somebody who ran a casino says, yeah, they came here all the time and they were together, there's video of that. Donald, there's all kinds of evidence. In states fucking it up. Here's Louisiana. Clots and prayers. Oh, Jeep, you're funny. That's funny. Clots and catheters. Clots and cardiac arrest. Wait, is that a little too pointed? Hey, should have just stuck with clots and prayers, Jared. It was a little more broad. Got a little too specific there. Hey, Britt. Oh, man, that's funny. But yeah, Louisiana has canceled a $3 billion coastal restoration project by an oil spill settlement. This is from the Deepwater Horizon oil spill from 2010. Of course, Republicans did this because who else would defund a project to clean up the coast? Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. What's crazy about this whole situation is that Donald Trump owned a modeling agency, and he did. You have to forgive me. I'm not a God damn it. Beauty pageants. Um, that's what makes it super troubling. Is he owned a modeling agency? He was around kids all the fucking time. And so like the pipeline from I haven't even heard about the list. Yeah, we got to keep talking about it because it's absolutely destroying Donald Trump. He cannot stand it. He cannot stand it. I want to continue to remind everyone Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump were best friends for the better part of 2 decades. Besties. Went to the casino together. Like, you got to be real good friends with somebody to go to a casino together. You can't just go to a casino with anybody. And he was always weird about his daughter. Yup. Yup. Can't forget how weird he is about his kids, man. Um, and by the way, everybody that is currently distancing themselves from Donald Trump because of the Epstein files should be looked at as a potential pedophile. John Casablanca and Trump were associated as far back as the 70s here in Florida. Who's John Casablanca? A modeling agency owner. Okay, yeah. With best friends like that, who needs enemies? Exactly. Exactly. No wonder his kids are like crazily supportive of him. I have a feeling he abused them too. And they've all decided it's our secret. But man, yeah, Trump has no real friends. Ain't that the fucking truth? You should just cut bait and go home, Don. Crawl back in your hole. Cause I mean, like I said, I'm not a medical professional. I didn't stay in a Holiday Inn Express last night, and I don't do voodoo. But I just think like the end is nigh. I've never felt like calmer about. Oh, yeah. If he makes it through the weekend, I'll be shocked. In fact, I'll be real with you. Every day I wake up and he's not. I'm like, how? Why? What? He seems completely neutral to his sons. Yeah. Somebody said, can we not just deport him? Can we not just revoke his citizenship? No, we can't. Can't deport him and revoke his citizenship. No, no, no. I have a feeling that he goes away quickly. Yep. Kids need to come out and claim mental illness and testify themselves. Same any prosecution. Yep. His kids need to come out now and say, "Daddy was abusing us." Marcia said, "Good news. The end is nigh." Yeah, I really think it is. And again, I'm not a medical professional. I did not stay in a Holiday Inn Express last night. I do not do voodoo, so this isn't me wishing. But I think when my eyes see swollen ankles, and I got people that are medical professionals saying, hey, he's hiding bandaged wounds on those ankles. And that's a phase further down than they were admitting yesterday. Within 24 hours, news is fucking zooming. That's why I have such a problem where I'm like, something's going on. It's much worse than he says it is. This is controlled output. Oh, he's got this little disease, this whatever chronic venous, and oh, his ankles are swollen. You know what I mean? There's so much that he argues to hide and keep from the public. Your health is not something you can really hide, and he's been struggling for a while, kids. This man is wearing a catheter, is wearing a diaper, and is falling asleep in public. Apparently, in the last 1 week, he gave a speech that people said one of two outcomes. He gets fucking committed, which we don't even do that shit anymore, or he's done. He's done being president. He gave a speech, and that's within the last week. So I know that you hope and pray, and you like, hey, I cannot wait either. Okay. Oh, anybody that supports this person, it's because they are deeply unpopular and not well liked within their own communities. So they lash out on the internet. And remember that rage and anger are the lowest levels of emotions. Those are the first things you feel. And that if you could just ever get past your own anger and rage and work on other emotions, man, people would be so much more interesting and be more well developed. But most people just touch that rage and anger button all the fucking time, and it sells when you're young. Yep. Being angry, calling people names and shit, trying to fight and shit, it's stupid. I got a Mossberg. Stop fucking with me. Fortunately, the damage he's done will take years to fix. Facts. Then he had the desk replaced. Remember that? He did have the desk replaced, and he had a bunch of art and shit taken down out of the fucking White House and put. That man put his own face. He put his own face in the White House in the Oval Office. What is EDEMA? Good morning, by the way, Val. What is the EDEMA? Oh, writing his code. Patel's waiting for the end. Yeah. Little Damien wiped the snot on his desk and says, "You're not the president." Oh yeah, you're not supposed to travel with blood clots. Donald Trump loves to, thank you. I was like, edema? What? That's either somebody's poorly named grandma or a medical term. Edema of the legs, yeah. Swelling. Hmm. Yes. Keep typing it, ladies. It does look like some grandma's name. You can laugh. Every now and then I'm going to say something stupid that's kind of funny. Edema does look like a grandma's name. Like Edna, for example. My mom's best friend growing up, Edna. Edna Zook. Edema. Edema. Oh, even crazier. Edema. Edna's my mom. Oh, where's the guitar playing? I don't know. Remember this piece of shit, Brett Hankison? It's still funny. I'm so disappointed in TikTok. I hope y'all know that I do give y'all the same love I give the YouTube chat. It's just it doesn't show. Trump's gonna try to escape. You mean like run away? Yeah, that's what I've been saying. Is I think he just edema, edema Don. I think that we can move on from. Oh, he's gonna dip out on the guitar playing. Edema Don. I think that's where we are now. I need that on a t-shirt. Crystal said he'll probably have a stroke. You think his speeches are wild now? Just wait until he has a stroke. Oh, there's a chance he'll go nonverbal. That's his grandmama name. Or congestive heart failure. Either, hey, if it's, can it be an either or? Why not both? The thing about it is, I am all about you reap what you sow, and so I want Donald Trump to get all of the things coming to him. And we'll just see what they are. We'll just let the chips fall where they may. You know, I'm a firm believer in karma, and that how about a Jeffrey Epstein moment? I just want to continue to point out those motherfuckers are best friends for almost 2 decades. Me too. I've long since said I have no interest in earthly riches. Karma, though, I'll take karma. Hmm. It's like always be kind and generous to other people. Always. Trump had life on easy mode. I don't know, man. It had to be awful being him. See, I just want to make sure I continually say people who seek power are not the people that should have power, as evidenced by Donald Trump. and also about to be evidenced by J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance wrote Project 2025. He and Russ Vought, as part of the Heritage Foundation, was funded by Peter Thiel, who said in 2014 at Libertopia, which whatever the fuck that is, that his ideas, Peter Thiel's ideas, were so wildly unpopular that the only way they could ever win is to cheat. 10 years later, here we are. J.D. Vance, I'm guessing during this term, is going to become the President of the United States. I know a lot of people are like super disappointed, man. Palantir stock is on the move. Yep. Remember, the pendulum swings back the other way. There's a reason that I have decided to found the American Socialist Party, which actually has a platform. So, congratulations. Should you decide to become a member of the American Socialist Party, which costs you absolutely nothing, because that wouldn't be very socialist, having a cost to join. And one day soon, we'll start posting links for you to donate. And we are in search of generations of people who maybe aren't seeking power, but have to wonder if they're better qualified to be an elected official than who's in office near where you live. And if you know someone that should be running for public office, but they hate the current political system, they can't stand Democrats and Republicans. Let me just tell you, I'm a 40, about to be 42 in a couple days. I've been very social my whole life. You know, one thing I never knew? People's political affiliation. My whole life, that never mattered. So y'all weren't calling yourselves Democrats and Republicans anyway. Wouldn't you rather keep all that money you pay for healthcare in your pocket? That fear that you have that you'll need your healthcare and it won't work for you, would you rather just not have that? Wouldn't you just rather have universal healthcare that doesn't cost you anything and it just works? What about those of you that are on student loans? I'm one of them. Wouldn't you rather keep that money? Wouldn't you just rather have all student loans forgiven and not have to have anybody take student loans anymore? Wouldn't that be better? There's millions of homeless people, and lots of them are veterans. People say they care about veterans. Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. MAGA will flip out. They don't have merch for JD. Yeah, nobody's rocking a JD Vance jersey yet. Um, but think about that. We have a million homeless people in the United States. Millions of empty homes. What if people spent the rest of their lives trying to house the unhoused? Give a home to the homeless. What if the government just gave you $500 every Friday for hanging out? Hanging out money. Just for coming around. Thanks for playing. Hope you had a good week. Have a good weekend. What if that's what your taxes paid for? So that you could have a savings account. So that you could have some mobility when emergency strikes. Right? Have the ability to not only Sustain yourself, but help your neighbors. What if you did that? What if that was what you're focused on instead? Help thy neighbor, right? I know it's wildly complicated shit. I know, it's wildly complicated shit. My wife, one of the reasons my wife don't watch the show is she's like, I hate people, Jared. Why the fuck would I want to be a socialist? You're all like nice and bubbly and everybody likes you and shit. She's like, fuck that. I don't hate people. What are you talking about? Yeah, I hate people too, Taylor. But and that's it. By the way, there's no ulterior motive. Dead ass. They will ask down there, like, what were you really trying to get out of all this? See, I was afraid that if we kept going down the path we are on, that I'll lose my benefits, which currently pays my fucking mortgage and allows me to produce this show for free and not have to worry about trying to get you to give me money so I can pay bills. And so, for example, I don't want to lose my fucking health care and my VA benefits. And so, if I have to think about a life without those, what would have to happen in order to replace those things? Universal housing would have to happen. Universal health care would have to happen. I had an opportunity to go get a master's degree for free because of VRNE, and I turned it down because I got a job that pays me ungodly amounts of dollars. I think Taylor would like you too. She's just holding out. She thinks I'm. She always. I always think like she always assumes there's something improper going on. But I think it's just we're all self-conscious, right, in our own way. That's awesome, Vicky. She says that Vicky on TikTok said that her family were Socialist Party members back in the day. Yep. And for the record, I'm a syndicalist, socialist. So part of my messaging is to join a union if you haven't already. I recommend the Working America. I think some of our audience members have also joined. It's important to support unions. You don't necessarily have to join a union for your job. Just join a union, okay? And be pro-union. And understand that there are two reasons in my eyes that we're in this position. There's two big reasons. The first is Citizens United. Beyond a shadow of a doubt, Citizens United gave corporations way too much political power. Finn. The second thing is that union membership has been on a decline for 7 fucking decades. For the last 70 fucking years, the union membership's going. Meh. Why? It's because unions aren't keeping up with the times. Unions aren't modern. It's not no longer about getting you a dollar raise, a $2 raise. It's not about that anymore. It's about this company can make billions of dollars still and pay its people a living wage. And then one of the things that I have heard over and over and over again in my life is my company picked shitty health care. It costs an arm and a leg, it don't cover anything. Unions are there to make sure that you don't get fucked on health care. So if you are tired of not earning enough money and you want better health care, it starts with your unions. I know that you don't want to hear that, and you think there's some magic wand that can just be waved and the president can just go, eggs. That's not how that fucking works. Okay? But it is about policy, it's about bills. You can't rule by fiat. So this shit that Donald Trump's doing, where he writes an executive order and tries to play it out like it's like that's law, that's not how that works. Got to go through the court system. Yeah, I said I sent you an email the other night. You see, the regime's already reached out to multiple states trying to get access to their voter rolls machines. Wondering if they've had any success. Yeah, I'm sure Republican states just handed it over, right? I'm sure they'll get sued the fuck out of though. That's got to be illegal. It's got to be illegal. A lot of people have said Jared, I'd protest, but I'm not very motivated if there's not a daily thing. And to that, I'd say Mayday movement's got you covered. Washington D.C. every day, going on 90 days. Okay. There's been an organized protest in Washington D.C. every day. This is day, I don't know, 77, 78 of a 90 days straight. So people said it had South Korea protested for 90 days twice to get their president removed. We're almost through the first 90 days. That's the way I see it. Now, you may not be able to get to, be from, be anywhere near Washington, D.C., and can't make those daily protests. And to that, I say, welcome to the rest of us. Okay? You'd probably check out 5050.1, indivisible.org. Okay? Last protest was yesterday. Okay? See if there's any upcoming events on poll-rev.com. So if you are not really trying to get involved with Indivisible or 5050.1, which I don't know why you wouldn't want to do that. Uh, there's a protest on August 2nd. 249th anniversary of our signing of the Declaration of Independence at Franklin County Courthouse in Brookville, Indiana. Okay? So, I think August 2nd is a great day to protest. I'm not saying that's the date of the next protest. I just said here's a protest, Brookville, Indiana, on August 2nd. It would be the 249th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. What a great day to celebrate your First Amendment right, right? Gather and protest peacefully, I might add. Yeah, have a great weekend, everybody. Okay, here's something. We got to do weather, but there's a great white shark sighting off of the coast of Maine. Um, which this is a warning for beachgoers in the northeast part of the United States. Maine, along the coast, there have been great whites sharks sighted. Then hey, let's go look at Yallbot real quick and check the weather before we go for the day.
use Wix for my business because of its massive scope for functionality and
So by the way, here we'll share this to you. I recommend you watch the weather. Keep an eye on the weather. Don't. I think between the weather and professional sports, this is what keeps me going, okay? It looks like the weather's going to get bad over the course of the day. Mostly quiet right now. Zero tornado warnings, zero thunderstorm warnings right now. Zero storm chasers live. Not much happening at the moment. Stream is currently off. Mm-mm. This quiet period is going to end. In about 16 minutes, there's going to be 16 new flash flood warning going to get issued. I'm trying to figure out where that flood warning is, okay? That's what we're going to do every day. We're going to close talking about weather. All right, here I'm looking at the map. As we've said every day for a while, if you live in the West, your shit is on fire. Okay? It looks like Utah and Colorado are getting some precipitation, as is Southern California, Central New Mexico, Southeast Texas, and Louisiana. The Gulf Coast, y'all are getting wet today. There's a flood watch in that pocket in the northeast part of the country. I'm talking about East Texas, all of West Virginia. Y'all are just fucked. Ohio and New York and Western New York, you're getting wet. Virginia, flood. North, west, and northeast North Carolina, you've got flood risk. What is this? The Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Nebraska, Arkansas, sorry, border, a little four-state area. Y'all are getting wet today. North and South Dakota, you've got all kind of moisture. Minnesota, you got all kind of moisture in northern Minnesota. There's looks like there's moisture up in the northeast part of the country. Okay? Basically, if you live on the left side of the country, your shit is on fire. And if you live on the right side of the country, your shit is flooding. So how do you want to do it? You want to burn to death or drown? Just kidding. Neither. Pick neither. Pick neither. Come be my neighbor. I live in Indiana. All the storms miss us. I say that. I say that. Lots of heat building for next week. Yeah. Sean said, thank you for going live every day. Welcome. And that is all I need. Thank you. Mhm. Somebody's got to do it. Yeah, here. New U.S. assessment finds American strikes destroyed only one of three nuclear sites. Bobby said it's 20 degrees colder than normal in the Upper Peninsula. It feels like fall. Hold on. I didn't know this happened. An Alaska tsunami warning had residents scrambling for high ground after a 7.3 magnitude earthquake. It's 2 fucking days ago, and I don't know that I heard about that. And I have a daily show where we talking about the news. What the fuck? 7.3 magnitude earthquake? Why didn't we hear about this? That's a massive fucking earthquake. Am I wrong? No damage to really speak of. But there's the AP News story from a couple days ago. I think it was off the coast. 7.3 is crazy though. We gotta watch out for ambulance. It's like 2012 for real out there, motherfuckers. You know what I mean? I don't know if any of you have ever seen that movie. I'm really dating myself. That was like a long time ago, Jared. But there's this movie called 2012 where the guy literally spends the whole movie running for his fucking life. I wonder if living near mountains is a bad idea. I wonder if building an entire civilization below this volcano is smart or not. Saw this on the TikTok. But yeah, good to see everybody. Have a fantastic day. Don't let them get to you, bastards. Make sure you listen to a little bit of Eat the Rich. You too, Vic. Anytime my wife says I'll be home before 5, I'm like, fuck yeah. It's not a tear, it's your eyes salivating. Thank you, Arby's. You're a grand slammer, but you know Babe Ruth. You gotta learn how to relate. Lo and behold, you got the right key, baby, but the wrong key. Oh, yo. Thank you for being here every day. Remember, if there's no you, there's no me. What the fuck would the point be? Have a great weekend, everybody. About how many bills, and I'm sick of all your bitching about your poodles and your pills. About your way of life. Think I can do my vote with this, your fucking life. Alright.